You graduated. Because I've done time before, state time, nothing more than a year. And I've gone to jail a couple of times, 30 days, 90 days. But I always laughed that in the face because I knew at the end of 90 days, I'd be done and I'd be out. And I've gone through treatment and I've gone through other forms, but there was no getting out. I had a 25,000, I had no money, I was homeless on the street, and there was no getting out of this. So the conversation was something like, like where you're at, Carlos? How you like this? You're 45 years old, man. Look at yourself. Is this what you want for the rest of your life? This isn't you, man. Are you done? Are you done, Carlos? And I couldn't do anything but, realize that. And I started crying right there, trying to hold my tears back because, I was with somebody else and you're in prison and you don't cry, you don't shed those tears while you're there. At least not at that moment. At least that was my perception of it. Little did I know that my cellmate later on, he would confide in me and, he had to cry too when we were finally in our pod and in our cell over, over something with his family that he didn't expect. He was happy about it, but it hurt him too. But I had that same conversation about 2 weeks later. We were moved to a quarantine unit because this was in the middle of COVID. So this is January 20th. So I had that same conversation one night while laying in bed. What are you going to do now, Carlos? Are you ready? Are you ready to stop this way in life? Because you got to accept where you are. You got to accept what's coming. And that's all part of recovery. Being honest, open-minded, and willing. Being honest about what's going on in your life. Being honest with what you're facing. Being open-minded in accepting your current circumstance, which for me was sitting in federal detention center until I got to speak to my lawyer and got to go through the process. And I kept hearing, as a matter of fact, that same phrase, trust the process. Trust the process. And it came to a point where, I started getting comfortable. Now, I don't want to say comfortable. I accepted my circumstance. I'm here, man. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm powerless over this. I'm powerless over where I am. I'm powerless over my circumstances. My life and the rest of my life is in the hands of God, in the hands of my judge, and in the hands of the attorneys, both the prosecution and the defense. So that's when I started doing a big, long look at myself. And I started looking internally.